When last we left our heroes, Danir the Catman Wizard, Asmo the Sneckman Fighter, Nara the Drow Sorceress, and Wolfgang the Angelic Warlock, feeling a noticeable weight on their shoulders from all of the various impending calamities with the Red Dragon Needhogg to their west, a city of possessed Duergar beneath their feet, and a whole nation of demons beginning to form to their north. They were having a hard time figuring out exactly where to direct their attention first and foremost as they continue to rebuild the city of Silver Rock, with the notification that Inquisitrix Vileblood, the former Lady of Silver Rock, is now the prisoner of Ramses Palto after discovering an assassination plot against Wolfgang. Wolfgang was given the option of what to do with said prisoner, and also found out that she had delivered her child, the warrior they once met in the future known as Demetrius Kench. With all of this information weighing on him, Wolfgang went to the smoothest talker he could find, Darrington Loxley, to pick his brain on the situation, and discovered there may be more to this than just a simple immigration dispute, as Loxley pointed out to Wolfgang that Demetrius Kench, by some recognition, could be seen as the rightful heir to the Silver Rock throne. But with all of this information weighing on our heroes' minds, where will they decide to direct their attention as they move forward? So after the long training session last night, Danir, you continued to refine and work on the method that you'll actually be training the proper Kylum cadets and city guards under. You've been, well, each of you, aside from probably Danir, have been finding yourself not necessarily restless at night, but definitely waking up feeling a bit more weary and heavy than usual. Oftentimes, before the first bird even chirps for the day, before the sun even begins its crest over the horizon, you find yourself staring out of a dark window and just wondering what is going to happen next. You feel the weight of your feet as they drag on the ground beneath you, as you all meet up in the morning. Danir, the only reason you don't feel quite as tired as everybody else is you're kind of in a constant state of consciousness. Even while you're sleeping, your mind or dream self is awake. But as you finish your morning rituals and go through your various duties to the city, all of which are fairly mundane for today, Asmo, to start the day, Urf has delivered to you a list of candidates that would potentially do well under Danir's particular training. It's not a particularly refined list. It's probably a little long for your taste. Wolfgang, as for the matters within the town, everything seems to be kind of status quo for right now. The remaining workers from Fallwood Barrow and Amberglade are finishing out their week, and they'll be heading off at the close of that. Everything else from there is pretty much where you left off last.
There we are.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, I didn't realize that I hit the 0 on there on the number pad.
Yeah, we haven't heard a word you said since the beginning.
Well, shit. I'm glad chat could. I delivered a stellar recap. But
I honestly,
I came in during part of it. I mean,
it's so great that we should hear it again. You know,
yeah.
I really should.
Or like a quick summary.
We got the gist of it. Basically,
Yeah.
we all woke up tired. Danier's not as tired because he's a cat. And
as far as city's goings on, it's all pretty much where you left off last time, kind of status quo. The people from Amberglade and Fallwood Barrow are going to be finishing out their week and then heading home. Asmo, Urf has delivered to you a list of candidates for the training under Denier. It's not a particularly well-refined list, but it's he could probably do with like trimming a few names from it. And with all that information in hand, you all meet up in the morning to discuss your plans moving forward here as the town continues to rebuild. Please tell me I'm not muted again.
No,
you're
fine.
okay.
We're here.
we're
You
just
were muted the
Okay.
entire time. We didn't hear a single word you said.
Okay. So
Man,
Asmo
you three look like crap. Are y'all okay?
Oh, if all three of us are looking like this, I don't know.
Shut up.
You don't even sleep. Why are you tired?
I'm just grumpy.
No,
We didn't have any nightmares that we could think of, right? Like nothing that would be standout.
Nothing that wouldn't be driven by your own current anxiety. Nothing that you could conceivably say would be done by magical means, anyway.
Would Tango Muerte alert me if anything weird was going on?
Has it in the past?
Well, we've communicated,
Yeah.
so I don't know. They feel what I'm feeling, so would they? Just a general ask.
Again, when it comes to your communications with Tango Muerte, after coming back to the past and it rebelling against you for a while, it's for the most part just been kind of numb.
Okay.
Like it's just been with you and I guess apprehensively at your side would be the best phrase.
Okay.
For the most part, whatever consciousness is tied to the blade is doing its best to ignore you, I guess.
Rude, but okay.
curmudgeonly. All right, what's on the docket today? I'm sorry, I'm waking up still here. Ugh. Blah.
I think we're all trying to wake up here still.
All right. Hit me across
Looks
the
like
face.
we've got a long list to go through for potential candidates for what?
Nar slapped me across the face. Ow! Oh wow, that was fast. That was fast. Wow.
Are you up? You up now?
Ah! Oh yes, I'm very much awake. Okay. Well, we're all being stressed. Maybe we're all grinding our teeth in the night. I don't know.
That explains the tension headache.
Well, could have something to do with the little squid faces that are whatever they are beneath us.
I don't think that they really... Is that their purview? Do they specialize in fucking with dreams? Denier, you would know better than anyone else.
Typically not. The Elder Brain, though, does sleep and does show up in the Sea of Dreams. He has caused some issues to people that are around the area. That's what he did to the Fae folk. Their dreams started getting real dark. It could also be, you lot are maybe just getting visited by nightmares. That's a thing that could be possible as well.
That's lame.
From what I understand, they do a much needed service. If you lot need like something to relax and help you sleep better, I got a little something I can give you.
I don't know if I want to smoke your pipe weed.
At least not till nighttime. Now, what's on the docket? What do we need to do today?
Well, we've we've got a number of things we could tackle.
There's the
Alright.
things beneath our feet, the things to the north, the things to the south, the east, and the west.
Alright. There's nothing above us, though, yet, right?
Yet.
Yet.
As far as you're
okay.
aware.
Just
Yeah,
the
but there's-
sun.
Alright.
In case my boss decides he was right the first time and decides to blow us all up again.
That would be inconvenient.
That would be pretty inconvenient.
Ha 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 ha.
I think at that point might just give up.
If that happens, I'm dipping.
Where? If the sun says no, they're not getting away.
Another plane of existence.
Well, good luck to you. But for right now, let's tackle real, tangible problems instead of our making up problems now for us to deal with.
So we've got about 7 to choose from, and that's probably on the light side.
Let's go down the list.
Okay. Let's see. We have... Let me think about it. We have demons, vampires, dragons, and squid faces. You're running the town just fine, right?
We could
Yeah.
use a little more money.
Like how much?
More.
How much?
How much would I need to keep the town
God.
afloat?
As the town, like, here's the thing with the amount of funding that Dragon's Rest gave you. You should be fine for a little bit, but you're starting to eat into the town's coffers at the moment. You've pretty much eaten through all of Dragon's Rest support.
How much
And-
support was that?
lot.
Enough to basically rebuild the town at a slightly slower pace than you currently are at, and without all of the refugees that you took in, and without all of the additional help that you brought along. So
Yes.
due to the additional labor, that funding has been eaten through, and currently I'll say that. Let's say your town's coffers are roughly at about like 60% capacity. And if things
Okay.
were to continue at pace, like if you were to keep the Fallwood Barrow and Amber Glade people for the remainder of the support, you'd probably bet you down to a quarter.
Oof.
Well, the good news is the
Can we pause the game so we can build up our shitty map?
Oh my god.
One
Only it
moment.
worked like that.
Well, good news. We do have support coming in from the agriculture side. Our Dryad friend has been helping some of the farmers boost their crop yields, so that's going to help out for us. And eventually, hopefully, the land will become suitable enough to start growing giant's fruit and yum berries, and those will be an absolute cash crop for us. Plus, we have the Adventurers Guild in the middle of construction, and that's going to bring a fair bit of gold to the town.
And Wolfgang, you just let those one guys go home for a little while, right? So that's gonna drag things out a bit more?
Yeah, that's gonna set things back by about a week, maybe 2.
So not much.
Not a terrible amount, but it's... People are gonna be unhappy, and it was gonna cost me more money, so...
Well,
Figured might as well get a win-win, slightly lose for everyone, kind of.
right. Should we perhaps move into your office thing since you guys got mad at me about talking about things in public before?
Maybe.
Because I'm about to unload a lot of information out loud that
Yeah,
people may not want to hear.
Let's go to the office. Let's go to my office.
That's
Meet me in
what I
my
thought.
office.
I feel like Asmo's like pouring as he's walking, like his upper half is like pouring coffee and like trying to get stuff in. So the lower half,
Yeah.
Actually slithering like a snake.
Not low key.
If his office isn't protected by like a private sanctum, I will cast private sanctum.
I think
Kylum
we've
Dio-
established before.
The Kylum Diaboli was built with a number of wards
Okay.
kind of around it to discourage scrying and various forms of extraplanar travel.
Good deal.
As we transition into Wolfgang's office within the halls of the Kylum Diaboli.
All right. So, like I said,
We're here.
vampires, dragons, demons, and squid faces. The demons. What?
Vampire. Just got
There's
the
two.
one. Well,
Are you
Technically-
discounting her son? He is
Yeah.
100% a vampire.
he's like 50% vampire, and it's very different. Dompiers are, well, fucking unheard of.
1.5 vampires,
Yes.
and
We do still have
they're
to
with
deal with
the
that.
demons.
Currently.
So we need to give Ramsey some kind of answer on that, like pronto, right?
It'd be better. I'd rather not have that kid in Ramsey's clutches any longer than need be. And the mom still doesn't like me very much. Gonna have to figure out what that whole situation's gonna resolve into.
Well, you need to talk to him, right? You were gonna have some kind of a meeting with him.
Yeah, I think my play here, and bear with me on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think my play here is to bring up the fact that technically Demetrius Kench is the rightful heir of Silver Rock.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, we don't say that out
And-
loud or outside of this room.
Well, why do you think I wanted to go in here?
I didn't say you were wrong.
That is a dangerous play, though.
A dangerous play, but one that might work out for all of our benefits in the long run. Demetrius Kench being the... Hello, Sherman. Demetrius Kench being the rightful heir of Silver Rock means that he's got direct ties to the south, meaning that, according to Ramsey's own logic, means that he's not a citizen of the north.
Mm-hmm.
Although
So-
And
Although
So
the
we-
place of his birth could be called into play.
His father's family line is here.
his mother's family line is in the north.
And I don't know how thrilled she is to go up there, or wants to go back.
Well, she's already there. She's being held prisoner by Ramses. Apparently she tried to hire an assassin to kill me.
Uh-huh.
One of the Deadeyes, I'd have to imagine, and... Well, with our most recent hiree, I have got reason to believe that that's true.
Okay. So,
So, bring up that Demetrius Kench is the rightful heir of Silver Rock. We get him out of Ramsey's clutches. He comes here, and then I guess we can... I don't know. We could bring him up and teach him how to rule effectively and kindly without the need to go
Go-
crazy
hold
like his
on.
previous ancestors were.
Go old school and try and marry them off.
Huh?
Oh, ancient tradition of marrying off setting your children's futures for them.
he looks down, and then looks up, and then looks at Asmo. What the hell are you suggesting?
I don't even know. I actually got a character. Don't even know. I just thought they were actually in prison here in the town. That's what my confusion was. I didn't know they were in prison. So I thought they were literally in a prison cell, and you're deciding how to have a conversation with them. I didn't know that they were actually imprisoned up north.
Nope,
Changes
they are-
entirely how I was doing this. So it's kind of like,
Yes.
oh, okay, that
was established
recontextualizes
last
everything. I just heard they were in jail. I didn't hear that.
Now you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Knowing is half the battle.
I'm just gonna be quiet now. I'm pretend I didn't just. Asmo just like drinking his coffee.
Asmo
black.
goes back to reading a book. Man.
For casually suggesting I marry off somebody.
Anyways, back to my book. You wanted all options on the table. I don't know why you're getting all snippy with me. Fucking Christ.
So, we should try and get Demetrius to come here so you can fulfill your promise to future Elliot, too.
Well, technically the promise was to future Demetrius, and the promise was to keep his mum safe. And in order to do that, I would be putting the safety of myself and my family at risk. Not to mention, people of Silver Rock probably wouldn't like it.
Sorry. Caitlin cut
Cut
out.
out there, Caitlin.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they have to know?
No, not strictly speaking.
I mean, do you intend to keep her locked away and not see the light of the moon forever?
That'd be sort of counterintuitive to my word. I wanted to give her a better life than she had in the future, which is basically running from demons until she just had enough too exhausted, and some demons got the better of her, I'm assuming. That's what
That's
what
the
Dimitri
word
wanted.
that makes me nervous. You're assuming, right? We don't even know if she's actually a prisoner there, yeah?
He is very much a prisoner there.
You've seen it?
Yes, he has shown it to me. Unless he's lying to me again.
Would that be something that he does historically?
Probably.
Okay. So, I would say, why not do a sort of, you think he would be wholly against it in interrogation, right?
We interrogate Inquisitrix Vileblood? I don't think he'd be wholly against it. I think Ramses has a grudge against Lady Vileblood because she was a member of the regime that oppressed him.
Right.
So I'm relatively certain that he doesn't care what happens to her.
So, what if she... What were our options with her again, Denier?
Imprisonment or death.
No option to become our prisoner, right?
He basically said that he was giving Wolfgang an option to choose, given that she was the one that wronged him. And so he thought it would be formal to allow Wolfgang to choose her fate, basically.
So, it seems like to me, the clearest path is to enact the Demetrius being the heir of Silver Rock, blah, blah, blah. And then saying that she can be imprisoned, and then eventually we'll pop her out of jail.
Being immortal does have its advantages.
Exactly.
If she's imprisoned, she's not dead.
Or a threat.
That is true.
Unless she's interpreted that way. And then she might be released to get revenge. Yeah, whatever. I'm reading my book.
The prisons up north are not nice. Trust me, from experience.
Very unlikely that she would be let go easily, especially if Ramses doesn't like her because he was part of the uprising that tried to throw him over.
Yeah. Pretty much. Alright, so. What's your plan then, huh? You gonna give him a call? See what
I
happens?
mean, see if he'll transfer her as a prisoner and still enact Demetrius being a civilian here, but I would say...
I already tried to get the kid. Wolfgang is gonna have to make his play. He won't let immigration happen, given that we've already denied that.
Right. But at least for the heir aspect. Be fine, right?
Could be plausible. I can
Right
also
enough.
potentially get us a meeting with Vile Blood if, vampires sleep.
Ooh. Yeah?
During the day.
It's never day over there, though.
Right, but she has to sleep eventually, right?
Potentially.
Would I know that?
You can go
Monster
ahead
Hunter.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give me, I guess, arcane or nature with advantage.
They're both the same thing, so I'll go with nature. 18.
Yeah, vampires typically don't need to sleep if the sun isn't out, so, just due to the fact that they don't really have a life force or blood to pump, they typically have kind of like an unlimited pool of stamina at night.
Well, no. The only reason they need rest during the day is because the sun's out. If there's no sun, no need to rest.
Right. Yeah.
Unless she's exhausted. In which case I think anything needs rest. And I can't think of anything more strenuous than childbirth.
We don't know how long the kid's been alive, though.
That is true.
Although, given that she's in prison, she might go into torpor just to pass time.
We also don't know what sort of wards against your sort of special brand of magic Ramses might have. You're both proficient at dream magic at this point, I would say. Ramses worryingly taking quite well to it.
Kind of makes sense. I mean, given that he's had the bleeding god inside of his head the entire time, and the bleeding god has been comfortably in the back of my head without paying rent all these years. Part of me is starting to think that he's the reason why I picked it up in the first place. Another of his manipulations.
Ooh.
That sounded fun. So what would be your plan for contacting Ramses, for establishing some form of meeting?
Sending would probably work. Is that what you want, Wolfgang? Because I can send him the message right now. And that would likely mean a meeting in a little while.
Yeah. Let's just get that done.
Alrighty. Luckily, you're a dad, so you know what you're doing, right?
That's what Winky Face is Acknowledging how stressful this is.
I am a dad, and that does mean I'm always right, but only when I'm talking to my son.
Yeah, the only time.
Yeah, especially you don't count all the times you were wrong, too. That definitely helps.
That's true.
Oi.
High five. Light high five. Has to be a win every now and then.
Sometimes it feels like I'm talking to children, though.
So, you want me to send a message to Ramses to let him know that you have made your decision, but you want to give your decision face to face on neutral grounds.
Sounds smart.
Okay. Very well. I will go ahead and cast sending to Ramses, and I will relay that message. Basically, that Wolfgang has made his decision. He wishes to have a meeting in neutral grounds, like the previous meeting, to discuss the terms of this.
You'd get a reply. Sorry, go ahead.
Basically, and then he would set the time for the meeting that would work for everybody. Denier would take into account the time zones between the north and the south, and he would set a time that would work for both parties.
It's a land of always night, and a land where day actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
You'd get a reply back, basically, by neutral grounds. I suppose you mean the dream space?
He would get a reply to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. I'll be waiting.
Denier looks over towards everybody, and he gives a nod. He says he'll be waiting. I don't know if he's going to be waiting, with his allies or not, but he's going to be waiting for us. And I loathe having to go down to that section of the Sea of Dreams, but it has to be done.
What else are you
Alright,
gonna
then.
do, you know?
Not go to the place that has haunted my dreams for almost 14 years now.
Yeah.
No, well,
No.
yeah. Yeah. No,
You don't sleep, Nara. You just anyway.
Well, what? Not my fault.
Believe it or not sleeping is a very, very nice thing. There is so much time that you have when you don't have to sleep.
Oh, I spend a lot of time reading now. A lot.
Nice. I need to expand the library, and I need to expand my library a little bit.
I'm still waiting on a book. Should
Which
show
one
up
is-
soon.
Which
You
one
asked
is that?
about it yesterday.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So it'll probably take some time to be found.
Of course. I have to find. I remember I ordered it. I don't remember what it was.
The Amazon surprise.
Oh God.
Above game, you were asking about the Duath Loon and Squid Faces.
Yes. On Draconic, that was it. Got my book of Draconic.
Yeah, currently, like, the book you had requested is anything on the Deep Ones, the Old Ones, and the Eldritch.
Ah, okay. So I'm getting Elder.
Yeah, your goal was to try to learn Deep Speech, but probably hard to find a book on that.
Yeah. My draconic book never came in? Lame.
Supply chain problems.
Mm-hmm. You're like, not plot relevant. Move on.
Look, the library is still being built, okay?
Yeah, okay. Sure. Sure. Right. Whatever.
I'm keeping track of a lot of background information.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Note to self, Book of Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wrong one.
All right. So, they're going to meet in Dreamworld, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've established the time, and he gives the time.
So, Denier,
Yes.
thinking on talking to people who we don't really want to talk to. It kind of hit my brain when I got the book yesterday that... Remember how we told you about how Solomon made that one mind flayer that was undead?
Yes.
I think we should probably tell him to not do that.
That's what just kind of go. Just looks like, oh yeah.
I mean, it'd be an interesting idea. He flourishes his hands towards Nara. By all means, go ahead.
What do you mean, go ahead?
You have the connection to Solomon. He's your quote-unquote, air quotes, dad, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know how to call him. Do I know how to call him?
You know how to pray to him.
Ah,
Sometimes he'll answer, sometimes he just listens, sometimes he doesn't. He's
fine. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
Wolfgang has shown me things about that man. I don't want to go near him. I don't want to be in the same room as him. I do not want to go anywhere near that man. And then he points to Asmo. The minute I get you in the dream realm for real, I'm going to try everything to get that seal off of your chest.
That's not the only thing attached to him.
Yeah, you're attached at my hip.
Damn right.
Yeah. That's when you saw like embarrassed and blushy.
Yeah.
Anyway, where's an empty room? I have to go leave a message.
Was just about to tell you to go get a room.
Shut up.
You could probably find something down the hall.
Okay, give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
You find an empty space in the Kylum Diaboli. There are rooms set up for triage, rooms set up for like there are just some kind of like empty office spaces that are there to entirely unfurnished at the moment, but there to potentially house future staff. So you can find one of these like shell rooms.
Okay. She will go in and stand, close her eyes, kind of start shifting, switches to sitting in a chair, lays on a floor, sits in the chair again, steeples her fingers in front of her face.
Ugh. Okay, I can do this.
Closes her eyes.
Hey, Solomon. So, you know how I've been sending you some bodies, and one kind of looks like it had a squid face? Don't make that one alive, because it's from another dimension, and I kinda...
Give me a charisma check with advantage.
Oh god, I didn't even have my sheet up. Oh, 1 second. So much talking today.
Crushing it.
Charisma check?
With advantage.
Okay. Where did it go? 13?
You feel kind of a fog trickling around you. Like this
Okay.
cold, airy wetness that's kind of like creeping around you.
Kind of peeps one eye open, looks around.
The feeling kind of dissipates as you stop focusing on it.
Okay. Right. Squid faces. I don't know if we talked about it, but I sort of like up into a different life for a little bit, and it was really strong and really problematic for all of us, including you. So if you just don't make it, that would be super awesome for everybody, and that would be great.
That fog feels like it's condensing more and more around you.
So maybe a couple of global issues happening right now, and I was just wondering how you are, and that you're probably fine, but just check it in.
You seem different,
okay.
Nara. You just hear the
Hey.
voice echoing around you.
Oh, can she open her eyes and like still focus on that, or?
If you open your eyes, you see nothing but pitch blackness.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, well, a lot has happened. So,
What happened to the bodies that were supposed to be coming my way? They seem to stop over the past few months.
like I said, I've been busy.
Yeah, and then you show up, and you try to tell me what to do with those bodies that you send me?
It's more of a request than anything.
I'll put that under consideration.
Have you been, by the way?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, peachy. Just fine. Just waiting for my enemies to show up or die. How's
Yeah.
that going, by the way?
What do you mean?
Oh, hunting down the... He pauses for a moment. And give me another charisma check with advantage.
Okay. 13 again.
Where have you been?
Well, like I said, kinda was living a different life for a minute.
He doesn't seem satisfied with that answer.
She focuses on Tango Muerte for a second while still keeping in touch.
You're feeling something. Go ahead and... This is what those charisma checks have been for. You're not quite sure what you're feeling from the blade right now.
Right. Another charisma check?
Kind of failed two of them. Yeah, I'll go with one more without advantage this time, though.
7.
There is a mix of feelings coming from this thing. Like a cavalcade of emotions, some of which you probably haven't even felt. Like, it's weird. And it seems to be affecting Solomon as well. He seems very perplexed as to what the fuck is going on here.
things just got really complicated, and these squid things are making life really hard. And... yeah.
Then kill them. Do what you've been trained to do, what you were raised to do.
Right. We did. But the problem is that these things, you don't just kill one and it's done.
Then kill them all.
Right. That's hard to do when they're not all in this plane of existence.
You know why I sent you out, Nara?
Why?
Because you get results. You don't stop because something seems difficult, or even when it seems impossible. You get shit done. And I don't know where you've been or what the hell you've been doing. All I know is something seems different about you, and you're dodging my questions.
I just don't know how to explain it.
Start by trying.
I kinda know your mom a little.
In what regard?
You didn't really tell me what Tango Muerte was.
So you know.
Yeah.
Then is he dead?
No. I don't know where he is.
Well, it's been lovely catching up, Nara. Really, it has. Get results.
It's about to go sideways, Solomon.
That was an awkward Discord call. Well, do you think he made you connect on Zoom?
I think so. Yeah, it was. I
Oh,
mean, the
he
connection
would.
was fine, but yeah.
He's like, I need you to get on Zoom. A program you'll never be comfortable on.
Are you still trying to talk to him?
She was.
All right. See if you say anything that piques his interest from here.
Remember the bleeding god? He's... a problem again. And he's... fractured. And someone knows how to control it a little? And he's the new Archmage. Who is occupying the north.
What do you know about that?
Not a lot, but they're real political. Smart. What do you know about it?
I know it's hard for my people to move around that area.
Mm-hmm.
Hard enough that I just decided to move to one of my other burrows. You think a man controls a god?
I don't think he controls him. He's harnessed him. He's not affected.
What's so special about this man?
Don't know. We've been trying to figure that out. And we've gone to great lengths to do so. But no results thus far.
Well, I've got another length for you. Kill him and send him to me. I'll figure it out.
That would be great if he wasn't surrounded by demons that are really hard to fight. Listen, I'm good at fighting and killing things. You know this very well. But he's got, like, very strong demons. And I'm pretty sure a portal to hell or something.
Then start by getting the other half of your blade.
From...
I thought you knew. And he cuts off.
Fucker. How am I gonna get that? Wait. One more thing. I know that you're probably super busy with death things today, but getting the other half of my blade is supposed to be giving death as a gift, right? And it's mainly for you, isn't it?
What of it?
What if I told you I already made it once? And what if the rules could be more flexible than you thought? What if I could give death as a gift to you? As weird as it is, you're kind of my dad. Some little shriveled part of me cares about you a lot. The fact that it even came out of my mouth is enough. As much as I want you dead, I don't, too. Whether it's a mix of hate or love, or I don't know. What if you accepted it? It's what you want, isn't it? To see her again?
You feel a shudder kind of go through your body, like goosebumps all over. You get a wordless affirmation. A feeling that something is coming. But you're not quite sure what.
Something is coming?
Yep. And your link to Solomon is severed.
Oh, shit. Shit.
Looks at Tango Muerte.
Please tell me that was you saying that'll work.
Charisma check.
Oh, natural 1.
You feel kind of like a burning in your head. That mixture
Burning?
of emotion, yeah, like not so much that you take any damage, but like this mixture of emotions and confusion. Like the blade is, its feelings seem untethered right now, and completely out of sync with yours.
Fuck.
Listen. Death, Mama, whatever. I don't know. You and I are gonna have to be on good terms, because I'm pretty sure your son is marching his happy ass down here right now. Or from wherever he is right now. I'm sure this is a real mixed bag for you, but you and I cannot be at odds for this. I can't handle it if he makes me do what I did before.
You still have that same feeling. I'm sorry, and nat 1 is
I know.
Yeah.
I just am saying it so it's said.
It was said.
She, like, squishes her face with her hands.
Oh, Wolfgang is gonna be so mad.
Wolfgang, make me a Constitution save.
Oh boy! Ten.
You sneeze.
Oh, fuck. Y'all catch
You're
a
not getting
cold or
sick, are
something?
you?
God, I hope not.
At
Hang
that
on.
point,
I cast Lesser Restoration on myself.
the door.
Hi.
Should oil those hinges.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun.
So I heard back,
Uh-huh.
and Solomon told me that to fight strong demons, I should get the other half of my blade. And I kind of told him that I already made it once. And then I threw out an idea that maybe he should, since the rules, technically, for making the blade with Tango Muerte is to give death and someone to accept death willingly, that maybe he just let me kill him. And then I got the feeling that something was on its way, and then he stopped talking to me.
So it didn't go well, is what you're saying.
He's probably on his way here right now.
Shit! Shit!
Asmo runs out the door. He's gonna go find his guards. Ah! Alright, that's where Asmo's run off to notify the guards of just
Asmo has left the party.
yellow alert, yellow alert, yellow alert, yellow alert, yellow alert.
You don't want to. You probably don't want to tell them that. He's probably. You do not want to fight him.
I'm just not
Asmo
No,
wasn't gone yet.
come back
Asmo
here.
wasn't gonna.
I was telling my second in
Come
command in
back
case.
here.
What?
Do
What?
not tell them anything. He's not going to come here to fight. From my understanding, he's coming here so I can kill him.
Okay.
And if anyone stands in the way of him dying, he will murder them. And then raise them and have them kill all their friends. So,
Any idea when he's going to be here so I can, not be here?
I have no idea.
Right.
Probably like between now and soon.
No.
So, since we are now on a very intense timer that could be really bad for all of this town, maybe we should take
thanks
care
for
of some
that.
other things. Well, I just,
Thanks for pulling that trigger, Nara.
well, come on!
Come on, what? I've got the lives of all of these people to deal with now, and you summon the god of undeath?
Yeah, so I can kill him.
Who hates me?
Put out to lunch sign or something. It'll be fine. Probably.
Oh boy.
Okay, what else do we need to take care of? Because that's a thing. I don't know when it's coming, but if we don't start thinking about the other problems, that's going to be a much bigger problem and we won't be able to handle anything else.
Okay. All right. Well. Shit. Okay.
Wait, when is your meeting with Ramses?
Soon.
What?
I give the exact time that
Time
we
has
agreed.
been stated. The meeting will happen at time o'clock.
Wow.
Just trying to help.
Wowie. You did not.
We may be able to find some way to play this to our advantage.
Yeah? How?
If he's focused on us, he's not doing things elsewhere.
So then technically I did what I set out to do and he's not going to make the squid face.
Unless he's already made
Undead
it.
one. Oh.
But I can only imagine you dangled a very juicy piece of meat in front of a very hungry cat. Pardon the analogy. And he points towards Wolfgang. He's not even fully healed yet, as far as I'm aware.
Luckily, I don't think Ramses knows that, right?
I
Right?
think so. As far as I'm aware, no. Why would he know? Wolfgang
Haven't
hasn't
done
casted
any-
magic in front of him.
I haven't done any magic around him, no.
Okay, well, there's that.
Oh, right. Are you still Fritzy?
Can I do just the ever so slightest bit of
At the-
magic? Can I could cast like
at the moment with your training, you are able to cast cantrips, no problem, and you're
Okay.
able to use a lot of your class abilities fairly well.
I
Casting
touched
spells is a bit more difficult.
a bit more difficult at the moment. I touch the feather on my head and it begins to glow slightly and then it dissipates. I can do minor rudimentary stuff, but more powerful spells are beyond me at the moment.
Beyond your control, you should say.
if I try, things get intense.
Mm.
All right. So what is everybody at least working on for the next little bit?
Nara's probably gonna try and keep hounding Tango Muerte for a better connection before Solomon shows the fuck up.
Lowering my blood pressure.
Asmo has that list of recruits to go through, right?
Yeah, as well, but we haven't headed out far in a direction yet, so.
Wolfgang, can I get your opinion on something real quick?
Sure.
You're aware of everything going on. Do you think it would be better to work on those shackles for Theranak, or try to finish preparations for that ritual?
Remind me what the ritual is about again.
From the way that Tom explained it, it would basically merge my mind with the mind of your Denier, which would grant me access to what he knows, and it would grant him access to what I know, and maybe the spells that he knows. It'd be a lot of information for us very quickly. It basically, he holds up two fingers, turn two people into one person, like how Tom combined himself with Arcanos.
That seems pretty involved. I think maybe once we get the shackles taken care of, we can focus on that ritual.
Gotcha. I'll make the shackles for Firefang my utmost project, along with the tower.
All right, you'll be working with the construction crew and making sure that prison is properly warded, basically.
Yep.
All right. Well, as you get ready for the inevitable meeting with Ramses,
Here we go.
here's where we'll take a quick break. Hey guys, Lani here. I just wanted to thank you for rolling with us. And if you wanted to catch us live, you can do so almost every Monday at 5 o'clock Central Time over on twitch.tv/Lanipator. Now, back to the show. Wolfgang, as you relax yourself or do your best to, you once again find yourself in Denier's dream mansion. Let me glitter up. Oh, I didn't remove all of those. Pretend I did and that it's just a field of stars that you're looking at. Ah, they're gone.
Denier left the simulation on pause. There you go.
There, server reset. And as Denier's dream manor begins to lower back down to dream bedrock, deeper and deeper, down into the dream abyss you go.
And Denier sets up a half a table, which will press against the wall of his dome, and there will be a seat for Denier and a seat for Wolfgang, and if it will be in Silver Rock's colors, and if he has control over the other side, there will be another table for Ramses with a seat for Ramses, and it will be in Mitternacht colors, in the black and reds that Ramses wore on his robes.
Yeah. As you set up this floating island with this table, it drifts down And there, standing above the pool of blood, is Ramses. Ah. Well met, Lord Connolly. And hello, Denier.
Ramses?
Archmage Palto.
He gives a curt bow and kind of gives a look over at the table. I'm quite honored that you would think of me so. And he would sit down at the end with the Mitternacht colors on it. Notably, you don't see any reflections of his children in the pool of blood this time.
Only seems proper.
So, I hear you've come to a decision, Lord Connolly?
Although, I'd like to make a slight request.
I imagine there'd be some negotiation with this.
I'd like to speak to Inquisitrix Vileblood.
I don't see why that can't be arranged. Would you like this to be in person, or kind of like gestures to the ether around you? A more metaphysical matter.
If we were to do it in person, how would we go about doing that?
As I've said, you're always welcome as an envoy in Mitternacht.
I do know of a number of teleportation circles up north.
Some
We
of the
would be able
rooms
to
may have
transport there
changed, but
quickly.
I can provide them for you.
He gives a nod towards Ramses.
But if something like this is more to your liking, I can make sure that she is put into a deep slumber for you.
I look over at Denier just to gauge his expression.
You get the feeling that Denier likes having these meetings in the dream world due to the fact that he has more control than in the real world. And you suspect that he believes that it would be safer given that you're not walking to demon territory and there's more control that can be had on this situation.
Are you trying to hide that feeling from Ramses?
He's not really. Denier would prefer the meeting to be in the dream world rather than real life.
I was just going to say, if you are trying to hide your expression, he would be making kind of an insight check towards you. But if this is something that you're kind of wearing on your sleeves, feel free to make a deception check if it is something you wish to hide from him, though.
Okay, he's trying to. We'll see what he does. 17. Denier's trying to stay stone face.
Since we're all
Ramses'
here.
eyes shift from Denier back to you, Wolfgang.
Since we're all here, figured it might as well be prudent before I say what I think.
Please, speak your mind.
I think it would be faster and easier for all of us if she were to join us here.
I understand your feelings in this matter, I truly do, but as your king has decreed, we shall not be trading citizens anytime soon.
I meant in
Imagine-
the dream
Oh,
space.
well, it would take a moment to arrange, but
Well, we've all got a moment. He like raises his eyebrows at Denier, like fucking one moment.
Then he gives like kind of a almost kind of like a blank smile. He taps his staff, and you can see the skull at the end of it glow. For a moment, you hear kind of a almost a tinnitus-like hum in the air as it like kind of taps down. That time travels a bit slower in here than it does out there, so it may be a moment, but she will be joining us.
In the meantime, you mentioned that she tried to contact somebody to have me assassinated.
Yes.
Would you happen to know who this individual is?
Well, from what I've heard, she has contacted a number of associations trying to find somebody to claim your head, including various assassin guilds within our country. Word, of course, travels quickly through my circles, and we were able to apprehend her.
And she was with child.
Oh, forgive me. Initially, she put up a bit of a fight. Killed a few of my people. But, as it was your head she was after, I deemed that she stay alive and that you be the arbiter of her fate. I think it's only fair.
That is quite generous of you, Archmage.
I wish only to pass on courtesies that I believe you would extend to me. Were there anybody down there seeking to take my life, I'm sure you'd let me know. Make a deception check as he's going to try to insight you.
24.
You meet his gaze. He stares into your eyes. Right?
Well, I can't read the minds of all of my citizens, but I'm sure you've made no small amount of enemies.
Well, should something come to the surface, I hope you will do me a similar courtesy. A warning at the very least.
It's only proper.
But forgive me, before I cut you off, you were going to ask me something.
While you were apprehending Inquisitrix Vileblood, was she still pregnant at the time?
It appeared she had delivered the child sometime previous. Unclear how long, but she certainly still had enough energy within her to fight.
That explains how she was able to take down a number of your people.
She is quite skilled. She was trained very well by High Inquisitor Grell.
And no doubt she was defending her child. Or at least thought she was.
I have no doubt what was going through her mind were a multitude of things. But the child is safe. You have my word on that. You sit in awkward silence for a moment.
What would you say is Vileblood's citizenship status in the north?
Well, She was naturally born to a noble house, sired by the vampires of the Vile Blood family. Last of her line now, unfortunately. Her son aside.
Of course. And the other Vile Bloods. What happened to them?
They did not take too well to the new power structure that was up and coming. Stage a revolt, an attempted coup, as it were, along with the Blackthorns. That couldn't be allowed to stand, of course.
Unsuccessful.
They did damage, but not enough to truly sway the powers that be.
And the child. What about him?
At the moment, he's being taken care of. His appetites are difficult to figure out, as he is part vampire, part human.
I believe the term we found was Dampier.
Dampier. Thank you. You've helped me put a word to it. Remarkable little being he is. Many of the strengths of the vampires, with fewer of the weaknesses.
A miracle child. I'm quite certain the only one of his kind.
Quite possibly. He seeks to inherit a grand estate, should he come of age.
Narrows his eyes a bit. Aye. That is another matter I wish to discuss.
Oh?
Seeing as how the young Kench Vileblood child technically has a rightful claim to the rulership of Silver Rock.
I suppose he does, now that you mention it. I was mainly referring to the Vileblood estate. Do you seek to claim him as one of your own?
The child's future is he's like trying to think of the words. As am I.
As you ponder, the pool of blood beside Ramses begins to bubble, and springing forth from it, the form of Inquisitrix Vileblood. Her hands and body unbound, but she does seem quite lethargic, even in this dream state. Her body in a state of famine. She gasps and looks around and sees the pool beneath her as she tries to drink from the blood, but she finds no succor from it. And then she looks up and she sees you, and her eyes begin to contract. You. Weakly, she grabs the table and tries to pull herself to her feet. At which point Ramses just kind of circles, like, kind of draws a little circle in the air, and a chair just kind of sweeps under her legs, and she gets slammed against the table. She glares at Ramses, who just kind of does like a little finger waggle towards her. What is this? Where are we?
Could I insight? Sorry.
Go ahead, Connor.
I was just gonna say, could I insight that interaction with Ramses to see if there's any malice on his part when he sort of is being rough with her?
Go ahead. So you're inciting Ramses?
Yes.
Go for it.
Pretty good. 19.
It's not so much malice as it is him trying to, one, just kind of show that he has a controlling hand here, and this seems very disciplinary. Almost in a strange sort of way, fatherly. Like, despite her obvious age gap to him, he sees her as lesser and juvenile.
Establishing that he has the upper hand in the power balance here.
Pretty much, yeah. He has the authority, and he is chastising her behavior in front of a foreign dignitary.
Sorry, you were saying, Denier?
You find yourself amongst the Sea of Dreams. The place where all mortals go when they fall unconscious during the night.
Where is my son?
I imagine that he's still safe.
Quite. He's being looked after quite well. Then why am I here?
Because I wanted to speak to you.
She glares at you again. What could you say?
Denier, could we have some privacy?
As long as the Archmage has no issue with it, I can give a small bubble of privacy.
The Archmage ponders for a moment. I see no issue with this. And he stands up from the table and steps aside, finding a place next to Denier.
And Denier will step aside to stand beside him, and he will wave his hand, and a little translucent dome will appear around the pair. And outside, it just looks like a purple shimmering dome. Inside, it's a little bit more comfortable. Inside, she will find a table with what looks like a paper cup of crimson. There's a little note that says, "It won't help your physical work. It won't help your physical body, but hopefully this helps a bit." And there's a tiny, little bitty, chibi cartoon Denier face on there.
She just glares at it. She looks to you, Wolfgang. What could you possibly say to me that your actions haven't spoken 1,000-fold?
Well, he looks at her and the expression on his face is odd. It's not guilt or regret. It's not even really pity. this isn't something I can just say I'm sorry and make things all better. I would know. Because the thing I did to you happened to me once before.
Really? Who killed your beloved?
She transformed, couldn't control herself. Frightened some nearby villagers who defended themselves. Guess they got a lucky shot in. That, combined with the pain of childbirth, was too much. She died giving birth to my son.
She breaks her lock with your eyes for a moment. What came of those villagers?
I wanted to put holes in each of them. I wanted to burn their bloody houses down. I wanted to make them suffer the way I had been suffering. But in the end, they were just defending themselves.
So instead, you burned my home.
Suppose I feel a bit like a hypocrite when you put it like that. But in the end, I suppose you couldn't say we were just defending ourselves. But obviously it's tricky.
Which part? The part where you broke into our home under the veil of night? The part where you assassinated my husband? Burned me out of house and home? Upturned everything I had built toward?
Your husband had played a part and been party to numerous atrocities. I'm not sure what your opinion on sorcerers are. But you didn't see the column of death, the spire of souls that my friend T-Wig did.
Tell me something, Mr. Connolly. Do you know what happens when your precious sorcerers lose control? When their powers go beyond what they are capable of containing? What happens to the innocents around them when they can no longer bear their powers that were given to them. Perhaps, yes, it is a curse in their blood. But what comes of them is for the safety of the larger group. I have seen cities burn. I have seen whole areas reduced to gibbering nonsense because one of them had a bad dream. You hunt monsters, Mr. Connolly. So did my husband, and so did I. The difference is our monsters look like you.
So, by that logic, what was the purpose of the greater suffering just so you could give birth? How many people did you kill? How much blood did you drink just for that boy?
You would judge me for my appetites.
I'm saying I'm not the only hypocrite in the room.
And I will own
Shh.
that.
Sure, the sorcerers. Powerful, dangerous. But then in this world, what the hell isn't? The real danger is not understanding. And I understand that you're in a lot of pain. And I understand that it was the result of me and my party. And I can't say I'm sorry, because you're right, Inquisitrix Vileblood, I do hunt monsters. And in that moment, I did my job. But here's where we can go from here. I know you hate me. But I also know your situation. And I want to give you a life that your son, Demetrius, would probably want for you.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
Oh my god.
19.
Her eyes widen. Her eyes widen as you say his name. Her mouth goes slack, and for a moment all hatred leaves her eyes, replaced by, confusion, sure. But when you look at her, you briefly, for just a moment, see the same light in her eyes as you were able to see in Akazi before she passed away holding Elliot.
He blinks a tear out of his eye.
How?
Long story.
She regains her composure after blinking a few tears out of her own eyes.
Perhaps maybe someday I can tell you about it. But I know this. Your son is innocent. All children are. And I want to see your son be safe. And he wants you to be safe as well. I know he wants you to be happy. And I don't know if I can or even have the right to try. Because I don't regret what I did, but I know that I hurt you. But if a monster hunter can fall in love with a werewolf, and if a vampire, an undead soul, can give birth to a baby boy, then perhaps reconciliation isn't all that crazy of an idea.
Then start with whatever plan you have to save my son. On that, we can at least find common ground.
Aye.
Make me an Arcana check.
16.
Ever since you've been alone in here with her, there's been this strange music in the air. Almost like you can hear this like violin kind of stringing in the background slightly.
Could I detect magic? Odd as it sounds.
Probably not in this metaphysical zone, as everything here is
Darn.
magic.
Mm-hmm. One last thing. Do you hear that music?
What music?
Never mind.
I don't know what you're planning, Mr. Connolly. But if you can save my son and somehow me,
I don't have the strength. I don't have the strength to tear a mother from her son. It's just not in me. I think I'd turn inside out if I tried.
well, that's a start. Meanwhile, outside the bubble, Denier, would you have anything to say to Ramses as that whole conversation is transpiring? You can't hear anything they're saying in there due to the little privacy bubble you gave. But Ramses just stands by your side and looks to you.
I would have left something in there for Wolfgang to be able to get out once the conversation ended.
I think I think Wolfgang would just give you a signal.
Okay. But generally, if anything, it would have been like small talk. He wouldn't have tried to like push any kind of like conversations or what have you. The most he would.
You'd just be like, it was a very nice touch with the themed colors on either side of the table.
It does. It just felt right, you know. Since we've been starting to do this as kind of a diplomatic meeting, everybody standing on opposite sides, looking like it was about to be gang warfare, didn't feel right last time. So I figured it'd be far more diplomatic to have both of us just have something that we can sit down and feel formal and official.
My friend, I have no desire for war. I can't say the same for your royal family.
Us, where Lying Cat from Saga appears. Lying.
Shoo.
I can understand that. Nobody truly wants war. We all want the same thing. It's just we're going about it different ways. Sometimes I wish that things didn't have to go the way they did, you know?
Yes. But all progress comes at a cost, I'm afraid. And I couldn't bear to wait the time that peaceful progress would have taken for my people. Too many of their lives were taken.
He gives
I
a
could not let
nod.
another generation stand for that.
At the very least, it's between everything going on. I think that an impact is being made on both sides. Color me curious. I know that Rooster never had any kind of issues with the Arcane Innate. Did he truly perish in the coup? Or is he still up there somewhere?
I'm afraid that whole initial assault was very messy. There wasn't much that could be done about the collateral damage, I'm afraid. He was either caught in the crossfire or died fighting. I do regret his passing. He was a gentle soul.
Give us a nod. Yeah, I always went to him whenever it came to advice for conjuration. Man had a touch the likes of which I've never seen before. He gives the slightest smile as he looks over. Speaking of things that I hadn't seen before, I wasn't aware that you had a knack of dreamscaping as well as you have the last few meetings.
It's not quite the same way that you go about it. He, taps the staff. The gem that I had initially, the one that I had when you met me. It helped me to touch the minds of those that had found the other pieces. Through it, I was able to more easily reach them in an unconscious state, interact. That's how I found you, after all.
He looks over. Were you the one that was always sending the messages and the feelings, sights, sounds? Or was that the other voice, the one that's gone silent?
It's hard to say. When I slept, sometimes we felt one and the same. Can I confide in you?
Of course.
Ever since that voice went quiet, I've been able to maintain myself, of course, but whispers flood my halls. Whispers that I have no control over. My children, they're all very loyal to me. But some of our students, the initiates in waiting, they tell rumor of a voice that they hear calling to them, one that I do not hear. You've experienced the other voice, have you not?
My experience has been, shall we say, less supportive than you've had. The other voice, I assume that you refer to the tree, has always been somewhat antagonistic. And then he shifts conversation. He shifts his language. He begins speaking Infernal. That's how I managed to figure out how to speak this language.
Yes, he replies in the dark tongue of Infernal. These very whispers.
Whispers of Infernal. He gives a little bit of a shake of the head. The last time that I had any kind of contact with that particular voice, and he's trying to think back to the last time that he himself has spoken to it. I believe it told me that I should cherish what I have, because it's going to take them from me one by one. And I'd like to insight Ramses at this point.
Go for it.
19.
He seems lost in thought, as if trying to put that message towards his current situation. Take them one by one.
Until all that is left is you.
You see a sense of like deja vu kind of cross his mind. Do you remember when you heard that? Like, which scenario that was?
This was the only time that the Bleeding God talked to me directly, and this was in Amberglade, right before we went after Kinch. This was the first time that I actually had a successful defense against a Bleeding God attack. And this was the point where Denier basically determined that he's going to be a god by saying, the Bleeding God said that it was eternal, and Denier basically said, I'm going to become eternal just to spite you.
Well, this version of Ramses doesn't seem to have any real connection with that. So he's trying to piece it together in his own mind as to, like, what that could mean. Well, I suppose that's for my house to get in order, I suppose. Wolfgang, would there be anything else that you'd want to converse with Vile Blood about?
I don't think so.
And at that moment, Denier, you see Wolfgang kind of giving you a hand signal.
Then the last thing that he would say, I don't know if it's already happened or not, but not too far away from your cabin, there's a group of tabaxi. They're good people. And as the dome drops, Wolfgang would hear, please, let them be. They're good people.
Ramses gives you a smile. Denier, I intend to have a peaceful regime.
He nods.
I wish no ill will upon those who wish to keep the peace. And with that, Ramses will look back to the table. Was your meeting productive?
Very. Thank you for allowing that, Archmage.
You're quite welcome. And he, once again, kind of like taps his staff to the ground, and Inquisitrix Vile Blood sinks back into the pool of blood.
I would like to insight him, to see if he... No, you know what? I'll save it for after this.
Okay.
I also appreciate the privacy, Denier.
Always.
The music was a nice touch.
Wait, music? Lanny, did I do the music?
No. Not unless you wanted to.
Denier gives him a little bit of a look. Again, I probably wouldn't have done the music, but can I roll Arcana to get a feel for that?
Sure.
Because I don't know if it was prime or not. That's a 32.
Whatever that music was, it doesn't appear to be anywhere in that area anymore.
Could I said that out loud. Could I insight Ramses
Absolutely.
when I say that? Oh, 16.
He doesn't seem to give you anything from that. But for a brief moment when you do say music, he did seem to shuffle his foot a bit more, like he scuffed his foot on the ground a bit. That could be something, could be nothing.
He's throwing me off.
Shaking his game. But he sits back down at his spot at the table. Now, where were we?
We were discussing the fate of Inquisitrix Vile Blood.
Sounds right. And your conversation has led you to what conclusion?
I do not desire the death of Inquisitrix Vile Blood.
What fate would you see her have?
Well, far be it from me to see her torn away from her child. She's obviously starving. I'm not sure what exactly you've subjected her to. I'm not going to ask.
That is for High Inquisitor Grell, I'm afraid. She had a long conversation with him.
We met Grell, haven't we?
You have not.
You haven't. I believe we have a different character that met Grell.
Yes.
Hmm. There is a bit of a complicated matter we have before ourselves. Archmage Palto.
Yes. Your claim to the boy.
And the boy's claim to the rulership of Silver Rock. It is quite valid.
Are you telling me you would abdicate your position for a infant?
Well, no, obviously not. But I believe when the boy comes of age, should he be willing and in a position to rule Silver Rock, I would be willing to cede my lordship.
Kind of gives you a bit of a side eye.
To that end, there's the matter of what his proper home should be in the meantime.
What are your terms, Mr. Connolly?
The young future Lord Kench should be in the home where his father left to him. And I don't want to see a son torn apart from his mother. We also can't have her running about trying to have me assassinated again.
If I am to be so bold, his father's home was burned to the ground.
His father's physical home. Not his claim to the land, claim to the title of Lord of Silver Rock. I believe that by blood is still very much intact.
If you are to lean on such outdated convictions, I suppose. Antiquated though they may be, they are valid. As I have said previously to Denier, I'm sure you passed on this message. We're at a bit of an impasse when it comes to passing people back and forth. But perhaps we can reach an agreement. Perhaps.
Would you not agree would you not agree that for the Lady Vileblood this would indeed be a prisoner exchange?
Which prisoner would you exchange to me? I mean no disrespect, Lord Connolly, but an exchange is often transactional.
Fuck, we don't have anybody. Give him Nara.
You fuck! I knew it!
Bubbling from the pool of blood. Nah. I was here the whole time! Then perhaps we can work something out. You see,
Aye.
the royal family, they fear what they don't understand. And one thing they truly don't understand is mortals. For people whose time passes, They're well over a millennia old. Only the gods can claim more than that. What I'm suggesting is perhaps we construct a mutual trading post. After all, the old Archmage's decree of fair trade is still valid, is it not?
As far as I'm aware.
And perhaps this trading post can trade more than just goods.
That is not my decision to make.
Oh,
But-
it is, Lord Connolly. You see, I'm simply suggesting that we pool some resources and build a trading post where the forest meets the maw. Tricky terrain, nearly impassable due to its many issues, but should we navigate those? Perhaps a way station could be our answer. And a way to do business without the royal family getting between us.
I look briefly to Daenerys.
Daenerys steeples his fingers together. An interesting idea, given that the forest is its own somewhat location of its own, not under jurisdiction of the North or the South. A trading post there would be on neutral grounds. Though the terms of exactly what is being traded would need to be discussed further.
I'm simply saying that whatever guard's positioned there would look the other way should traders decide to cross the line instead of simply trading at the outpost. It would be economically beneficial for both our lands. And then any people who feel uncomfortable in my lands might slip southward. And any who feel uncomfortable in yours might slip northward. It's long been known that that area has been used by smugglers and criminals. Why not make all the income that goes through that place taxable? You'd be breaking none of the dragon's laws.
Of course, if this idea were to be considered, it would have to be noted that all these movements are of people that are of sound mind and free of coercion, enchantment, or threat.
Certainly details that can be worked out. If you have any predications on which you would test for such things, I'm sure that can be handled by the proper people. I understand your apprehension, but I also understand your desire for the people that feel unsafe in my lands to be happy. I too don't wish for them to feel unsafe. but the hatred in their hearts will not allow them to coexist.
This is a topic that... It is an interesting topic, at the least. One that has been introduced to the table. Perhaps allow the good Lord to ponder on it for a while. Do a bit of soul searching. Confide with certain members that he deems trustworthy for this information. And perhaps we can organize another meeting for this to iron out details if this is what the Lord wants.
Ramses smiles. Of course. Take as much time as you need. No decision should be made in haste, after all. I wouldn't want you to regret your decisions. You're always free to contact whenever, Denier. Anytime.
Of course. Next time you stop by, we'll have tea.
Delightful. I've never had a dream brew before. Then shall we
Flavors
consider
the likes of which you've never seen before.
Then shall we consider this meeting adjourned?
Agreed. You have my verdict.
Very well. She shall be kept alive, and I will await your further decision. And in the meanwhile, I will continue to ponder your thoughts on the matter. May the days treat you kindly, Lord Connolly. Until we meet again.
Until then.
Farewell. And he'll give a curt bow to both of you and then sink into the pool of blood beneath him, leaving you once again alone in the dream space.
Something is off in here.
That music was not me. But whatever it is, it's gone now.
Sounded a bit shrill, like violin strings almost.
Could have been... There's only one other person that I know that frequents this particular place that can slip in and out without me knowing. He may have been giving you a warning.
Your squid friend?
Denier manifests a small black mask. A beaked mask.
Oh. Right. What is it you referred to him as?
Well, I think from all the memories that you said, he kept calling himself Somnium Vagus.
Right.
Seems a bit of a presumptuous title, to be totally honest with you. I just prefer to go by the Dreamwalker.
Denier Prime, give me an Arcana check.
Okie doke. Let me go ahead and pull up Primes.
Manifests a note. That wasn't me. Oh, he spelled it right out for us.
Oh, actually, right here, even an itinerary.
That's a 29.
The mask that you manifested begins moving from side to side.
Is that...
Tilting
That's
one
not
way,
me.
then the other way, then back
Like
the
left
other
and
way.
right?
Yep.
I think that's him saying that that wasn't him either. Could have been some latency in the dream realm. Could be something that she was doing, just some desire of hers. It could be something that you were pulling in.
Maybe. I'm more concerned that someone was listening in. But don't worry, I didn't say anything incriminating. I just sort of talked with her about what happened, about Kench, about the child, about her.
Whatever it is, I think that we may need to have a couple conversations in the waking world.
Aye.
And as you shift back up into the world of reality, stars glittering past you, and a head full of questions, here is where we'll end today's session.